Okay, we continue. Next one, bonds, the yoga. The word yoga derived from the verbal root yu, which means to yoke, to harness, to join, and to attach. So the most accurate English translation context is bond, or what called attachment or fetter. A person who is spiritually bound is called a yoga, a yoke one or a bondsman. So a person who is free from this bond is called yoga kema, or one who has achieved yoga kaya. This is a fundamental different perspective. The goal in the Buddha's teaching is not to achieve a union, but to sever the bonds that created illusion or separation suffering in the first place. So there are 4 kinds of bond. The Kama Yoga, the bond of sensuality, the bond of attachment to sensual pleasure, sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile sensation. And then the other, the Bhava Yoga, bond of becoming existent, the yoke of attachment to a state of existence and desire for continued becoming. And then the Ditthi Yoga, the bond of view, the yoke of attachment to speculative opinion, dogma, especially wrong view, such as the view of permanent self. And Avijja Yoga, bond of ignorance, the fundamental yoke of not knowing the true nature of reality, about 4 Noble Truth, impermanent, suffering, and non-self. And this is the root of all other bonds. So path of freedom. The Buddhist path is framed as a process of overcoming this bond. Yogata, this means of state of being yoke or bondage. This is a condition of an unawakened worldling. I mean, a person that's still living in a confused state of mind. Yoga Kema is a crucial term meaning the security from bond or emancipation or absolute peace. It's a synonym for Nibbana. The one who has attained this is free from all yokes, yoga. So a famous verse you can find in Dhammapada say, Ujun Zanti Satimano Nya Nike Rama Te Kamasava Palamam Hitva Okamokam Jamasu Ti. I mean, it translates as the mindful exert themselves so they are not attached to any abode, what we call sensual desire, like swans who have left their lake and they leave home after the home behind. So here the abodes or homes are metaphor or yogas, the bond or attachment. The Arahant, like a swan, is not tied to any of them. Okay, so this is called living yoga. Yoga gone here. Next one. The concept of kaya ganta, body knots. What's the meaning? Kaya means body, but in Buddhist text, it has a broader meaning to it. It refers as a physical body, rupa kaya, mental body or collective group of mental factor, nama kaya, and often kaya in a context that implies the entire psychological organism, the combination of body and mind. So ganta means a knot, tie, bond, or fetter. It evolves the image of something that is tangled, fastened, and bound together. Therefore, when you say the word Gaya Ganta literally means bodily knots or ties of the psychological organism. They are the internal psychological knots that created tension, restriction, and bondage within a person and a person's entire being. So what are the 4 bodily knots? The Buddha identified 4 specific knots. They are not physical knots in the muscle, but psychological and emotional patterns of clinking that manifest as a tension, rigidity in both the mind and the body. What are the 4? Abhicca Kaya Ganta, the body knot of covetousness. Abhicca, often translated as a covetousness or sensual greed, is an insatiable desire for attached to the sense pressure, sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile sensation. How we manifest this? This knot is an internal tension and always wanting more or even being satisfied. It creates a restlessness, grasping energy. Physically, this can manifest as a tension in the shoulder, jaw, and gut, and body posture of reaching and clinking. So this describes how Abhidhamma Kaya Ganta works. Vyapada Kaya Ganta, the body knot of ill will. Vyapada, ill will, aversion, malice, or hatred is a desire to reject, harm, or be free from unpleasant people, situation, or sensation. How it matters, how it manifests. So this knot is the energy of contraction, resistance, and hostility. It creates hardening of the heart and body physically. It is often seen as a clenched fist, a furrowed brow, a hardened stomach, and an overall armoring, and the body posture of defense and attack. Okay, this is how the bodily nature when get with this kind of effect. Silabata Kama Sa Kaya Ganta, the body knot of dogmatic attachment to rules and riches. Silabata Pamasa, a complex term. Sila means rule, vata observation, pamasa grasping, adherence. It refers to the mistaken belief that mere external conformity of rules and riches or ascetic practices alone can lead to purification and liberation without addressing the underlying intention and mental defilement. That's why you see in other religions, they use the rites and ritual because it's very hard to address the underlying intention and mental defilement. So the shortcut way is do right and ritual, you can see it, and then hopefully things change. And how it manifests is a knot of rigidity and dogmatism. It creates a person who is mentally and physically stiff, inflexible and judgmental, and the body may become rigid and move without fluidity, reflecting a mind that is trapped in the black and white thinking and unable to see the middle way. So this is how you are attached to this dogmatic view. Idam sacha binivisa kaya ganta, the body not of dogmatic insistence that this is the truth. Indam sacha binivisa, adherent to the view that this alone is the truth. Ida means this, sacha means true. Abhinivasa, insistent or adherent, is the attachment to one's own view, opinion, and belief as an absolute exclusive truth, and refusal to consider other perspectives. These are persons who rigidly follow only his one only view. So other people's views is of no use to him because he cannot take it. Because his is one and only truth. That's why it happens in many religions. They always claim that this is the only truth. All the other are false. How it manifests, this is a kind of ideological dogmatism and stubbornness. It creates mental close-mindedness and intellectual arrogance. Physically, this manifests as a rigid posture, a stiff neck. I won't bow to another view, and a general lack of openness and receptivity in the body's expression. These are very hard kind of person to convince. So no use arguing with them. It's a waste of your effort and also waste of your time. How the knots function? They tie the mind and body. So this knot bind the man and physical aspect of experience together in a tangled web of suffering. A mental state of greed immediately creates a corresponding physical tension. Conversely, physical tension can predispose the mind to irritation. So they create a sense of self. So this pattern of clinking and aversion are the very process that construct and reinforce the sense of a solid separate I. The knot of greed is mine. Desire, the knot of ill will is what I hate. Okay, so these are things creating all this kind of identification. They are the cause of dukkha, the tension, conflict, and the stress. And we experience in life are not caused by external events themselves, but by our nocturne reactive pattern of mind. So this Kaya Ganta is response to this event. This is talking about the mind-made kind of problem. And how to untie your knots. The purpose of identifying this knot to untie them is the entire Buddhist path can be seen as a process of unknocking. The direct antidote is the development of wisdom through the 7 factors of enlightenment, Satta Bojjhanga, but specifically untying abhijja, cultivate the non-attachment and generosity, and practice the contentment of what one has. I mean, you have to be self-contented. Unify, you untying the Vyapada, cultivate loving kindness, metta, and compassion, and practice forgiveness and understanding. So when you have more forgiveness, understanding, you untying the knot. Untying the sila, bhatta, pamasa, ritualism. Develop right understanding of karma. Practice the middle way, avoiding extreme or indulgence and self-mortification. Follow the middle path. Untying idam sacha bhivanesa, dogmatic view. Cultivate investigation state and mindfulness, and learn to hold the views lightly, to be open to new information, and see the conditional, impermanent nature of phenomena, including views. This good example is AI. Okay? It's a topic, it's a new technology. Either you praise it or you hate it. But for many old traditionalists, they hate it because it's a challenge to them. So AI, when we come onto it, we have to open up, accept it, and then practice it. And then in what way can help us? Okay, in what way it will make our life more better. But it can be a tool for good and a tool for evil. So depending on how you use it, it's on your mind state. Okay, so embrace the AI because it's the future. We cannot escape. Everything will be AI very soon. Okay, clinking, upadana. This is another one that always come out during the past few exams. Upadana as a cornerstone of Buddha teaching on the cause of suffering. A deep understanding of this concept is essential for grasping entirely of the Dhamma. The word upadana is a compound from a Pali word, upa, upon or close to or towards. The prefix a, until it's completely. So dana, root of va, to take, is to grasp and to hold. I mean, upadana is to represent the word clinking, very close to it. Ignoring the literal meaning of upadana is clinking, grasping, holding on, or feel. So this dual meaning is crucial. Clinking, the mental act of grasping into something. Okay, it can be a mental state of grouping into it. Fuel, that which is grasped, become a fuel for the continual burning of fires of passion. That means you become a oil lamp that will support you with your passion, aversion, delusion, and thus for the entire process of becoming and rebirth. So this is a thinking, is a burning fuel that will support your life after life, that will carry on without stopping it. The Buddha famously said, monks, I will teach you all. The I is all ears. The I is all. Ears, mind is the four. As someone who said, repudiating this all, I will describe another, would have no ground for that. This monk is called the all. So upadana is a process of bringing to this all, the 6 senses and their objects. This is one of the saying from the Buddha. Upadana is not a passive liking or preference. It's an active, compulsive, tight grasping born out of craving. It's an intensification of craving into a fixed attachment that solidifies our sense of self and binds us irrevocably to the cycle of suffering, or what I call samsara. In the dependent origination, paticca samuppada sequence, The link between the craving, the tanha, and the becoming bhava is a clinking of upadana. This show is critical role. Then you can find in here craving, clinking, becoming, birth, aging, and suffering. Okay. So tanha is a desire for something. Upadana is an act of taking hold of it and refusing to let go. It's a point of no return when desire translates into a chemically potent action that leads to the renewed existence. So this is when you grasp to it, you form this cycle, one whole cycle back again. So there are 4 types of clinking. The Buddha categorized upadana into 4 kinds, providing a comprehensive map of what we cling to. Kamupadana, clinging to sensual pleasure. This is a grasping of pleasure derived from the 5 senses: delight, sounds, sight, sound, smell, taste, and bodily sensation. It's a belief that happiness can be found in external sensory stimuli, that is the most basic and common form of clinging. This is what every layman, without understanding, will like it to have it every day. DT, clinging to views and opinion. This is perhaps the most insidious form. Is attachment to one's own beliefs, ideology, dogma, and worldview, especially wrong views, michaditi. So this is also one of people, especially religion. They claim to clear this view and they never change. They will not accept any other view. So this includes clinging to political ideologies, especially in politics. You see all these politicians all going for each other's throat. Religious doctrine, many religions all claim this one and only truth. Philosophical system, and most important, the view of permanent independent self. It's a stubborn insistence that I'm right. Okay, this you can find in daily life. Many of these people, one and only one that is a correct opinion. The rest cannot be accepted. Sila Batu Pandana, clinging to rules and rituals. This is a belief that mere conformity to rules, precepts, rituals, or ascetic practices that lead to liberation without the necessary internal purification of mind. So these are all external things without checking the mind. It's a mechanical, superstitious adherence to form, hoping that it will bring salvation. The Buddha rejects this as a dead end, emphasizing that intention is what that matters. And Atta Vadupa Dana, clinging to doctrine of self. This feminine clinging of idea of I, me, and my is an assumption that there is a solid, unchanging, independent self or soul with the 5 aggregates. So this type of clinging is the root of all others, and we cling to sense pleasure, views, and rituals because we believe there's a self that will benefit from them. So the object of clinging, the 5 aggregates. The Buddha identified what we call cling to the 5 aggregates of clinging, Pachu, Dana, Kanda. Rupu, Panda, Dana, Kanda, clinging to form, the body, physical, and matter. Vena, Du, Panda, Kanda, clinging to feelings, present, unpleasant, neutral. Sanu, Panda, Kanda, clinging to perception, the mental label we assign. And then Sankara, Rupa, Dana, Kanda, clinging to mental formation, volition, thoughts, and emotion. And Vyana, Nupa, Na, Kanda, linking to consciousness. So humans take these 5 permanent conditions and dependently arising process to be I, me, and mine. So this is a misidentification and the very active of upadana. So what is the manifest and the consequence? It creates suffering. Clinging is a cause of suffering because what we cling is impermanent. And when object of clinging changes or ceases, it will lead to pain, disappointment, and distress. It constructs identity. The process of clinging to the 5 aggregates is what builds and reinforces our sense of a continuous solid self. So this constructed identity is the I that suffers. And this is a fuel for rebirth. As long as there's clinging, there's a potential for renewed existence. The karma generated to the clinking provides a fuel for new birth, continuing the cycle of samsara. How to abandon clinking? So the entire Noble Eightfold Path is designed for abandon of upadana, wisdom, the primary antidote to insight and to the true nature of reality, impermanent, suffering, and non-self. By seeing that objects of thinking are empty, unsatisfactory, and do not worthy of being held into it, the mind naturally lets go. Ethical conduct. Following the precept that helps to weaken kamupanda by curbing the pursuit of sensual gratification at the expense of others. Concentration, samadhi, a calm, concentrated mind is not swayed by the impulses of craving and is therefore less prone to clinking. So the path of the goal of the path is to attain nibbana is often described as a total relinquish of all clinking. And arahant experience the world, but does not cling to it. They use the world without being bound by it, and like a lotus flower that rests unstained on the water.